Alright, so this is the next video from where I left off, obviously. So as you can see, it's coming along very nicely. This part's running a bit too straight and parallel, but that's easy to fix a bit later. Okay, now I'm gonna start to work on the pelvis area. Right, turn off my grid. Okay. So pelvis is gonna go up like that. But it needs its roundness too, right here. So what I'm gonna do, shift right click, insert edge loop. Before I even do that, so I'm gonna slow down a bit. I'm gonna grab these, right? Because to do some bit more prepping, because this is a, you know, moderately sized chunk of face, and then it gets huge. You know, it's wide and tapers. So maybe I can just pull this back. Because when I also compare these, this is a bigger chunk. So let me just show like this. So it opens up more. This part, let me open up a little bit more. So it's tight, a little bit looser, more looser. Tight, looser, more looser. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Something like that shape more. Right? So all I did is push it in. And then this part right here. You'll notice this, right? It's good to understand the lines. What do these lines mean right now, right? So it tapers in a lot, right? And flares out. And this part is starting to bulk back out because the face was pushed out. So I could grab this and maybe tuck that out a little bit more. Right, so now it's the point of transition where it's going to start to bulk back up. Right here, see? It got narrow. And then when you look at the shading, see? Narrow. And then starts to fade off into more of a roundness until you look from here, right? Anyway, so I did that. This part looks good. Let me touch this up a bit. Let me push this in a little bit. So the abdominal side wall. Right. Okay, starting to like that shape. Now I'm gonna dump in the edge loop. Alright, so I give it a little bit more space right down the middle. Okay, so again, number one rule is when I add an edge loop, right, I have to put it to use. What do I mean by put it to use? You know, to shape it. Right, to shape it. So my main purpose right now is I want to build up the pelvis area. Right, because I'm looking at the character. Let me study the character a bit. Right, see? Very round and bubbly. Right? The torso, up, lower pelvis, hip area. Very bubbly, see? Round, very round. See? You could tell here too, the roundness, this pear shape, is being attributed because of the thigh too. The thigh, upper leg thigh, is very round. See? Very bulky. See, it's a massive, huge piece of meat. See this? This part doesn't show as much. Right? So I have to prepare for that. You can see the pelvis line here, the underwear line, right? All of that. Press F, select the model and press F to frame it. So that's what we're up against. So what I'm thinking is, what I'll do is to help me to visualize things. I'm gonna grab the strip. So like I said, where, shit. God damn it. Okay, finally. We added this edge loop, right? And I'm talking about bulking it up, making it kind of nice and round. Right? The reason why it's gonna be nice and round, right, when I'm putting this, is because of the hips, the thigh. Right, the thigh plays a massive role. Right, so we're understanding the shape, form, and function. Right. Like I said, don't go ham and just start slamming in edge loops. Right, see right now I'm doing that, I'm preparing for it. I'm broadening out the hips right now. Right, the hip area. This is that main hip. Oh god, this strip I talked about before. Right, this is my main strip wall. Right, that dictates the silhouette and the volume. So right now I'm looking at it, let's look from here, right? If this is the hip area, hip socket, it needs more meat to it, right? See, I just pulled that right now. That's this, right? Why did I do that? Because it needs more mass, you know? It needs more mass. How the hell are you gonna slot in a thick thigh, right? How are you gonna slot in a thick thigh if there's not enough mass? See this? This is what I'm talking about. Big old chunk of faces over here. It needs to be prepped in order to slot in the thigh. Hence, which is what I'm doing here right now. Right? I'm gonna grab this, chuck that forward, grab that, chuck that forward, grab that, press R, and just slam this just straight. There you go. And this is gonna help the overall shape as well. Right, now I'm going back in and touching up my line flow. In the world of drawing, this is your gesture, right? Your gesture lines. It's comparable. There we go. I want to tuck these in. These three. I just feel like doing it. Okay. These three I want to tuck in some more. So I remember the chest is fairly narrow. See? Alt 5 for wireframe to turn off the wireframe unshaded. So right now it's kind of forward heavy, front loaded. Right. Meaning that the widest point, I want to make my widest point stronger. Maybe I'm going to tuck this back a bit so it's more evenly spaced planks. Right, then look from here, see this part, right? I want this, see? before, after. Maybe just, you know, let me go back. I'm gonna put only slightly, just slightly, before, after, just ever so slightly. Then I'm gonna grab these, like the rear of the rib cage. I'm gonna pump these out. The rear of the rib cage, I think it's a little bit more wider. Right, and I'm gonna pump it out a little bit more. See, and it's easier to manipulate since my topology is clean in the first place. If your topology, if your lines are like zigzagging and tight and like just some parts are tight, some parts are wide, there's no way you can control the overall mass shape. Alright, so tuck this in. See, even though my lines are getting more and more congested, see how nice it flows. Still looks very, very organic, even though there's a lot of lines already. And these lines are necessary. Right. This part right here looks kind of rigid. $11. So I'm gonna just pump it out a bit. Right, make it a little bit more round. Open it up more. Right. Grab this, pump that open a bit more. Maybe make it a little bit more round. Right. Let's have some mass. Right, the transition. Right, into the pelvis. Right, you can see I'm starting to shape the front stomach wall muscle, right, like that. Maybe I'll grab this too. Maybe I'll widen a bit. See what that does. See? But then maybe it's, I don't like this planking. See? This right here. I'm gonna give it more oomph. Leave this out. Pull it out a bit. The reason why is that tight, right? Spacing is tight, looser, even more looser, and even more looser. So it gives that nice organic fall off. This part here, right? I want this to bulk up a little bit more. Before, right? And after. And level 1, level 3. Level 1 tells me that I can upside down. I'm gonna put some more, give it some more mass. This also I'm gonna put some more. Why am I doing this right now? Because it's gonna lead to having a nicer, rounder hip socket, hip area mass. Because I want to bulk it up, make it fluffy. See what I'm doing? This part's stretching. Make it straight maybe. Do some of that. I'm at level 1. I'm looking from the top down. I'm gonna grab this. I like this line going like that, so I want my train tracks to follow suit proportionally. See? This right here. And this keeps the mass steady. This part needs to open up more. See? When I look at it, 15 minutes. See right here? The shading. Right here. Could use a bit more bulk. And how's that equate to this? Well, this part, obviously I can pull on that. See? It just bulked it up automatically. And that's why when you have a clean topology, you know, you can make these changes on the fly, and you will know where to make the changes to bulk up, because the lines are so clean. It's easier to read areas to define the shape more the way you want it. There you go. Got that line set up. I have this line set up. Right, and I have this line set up. Maybe I want to experiment. What if I grab this line, right? Look from here. If I bulk this up some more, like that. Before, after. Then what if I start to go and grab this? Let me do an incremental save. What if I, yeah, see this? I want to grab these, pull these back. Right, so the line is more rear facing, back facing. See how organic it looks. This part's a bit. See, that's a nice transition. There you go. This sidewall, I want to bulk it up some more. If I bring it out more. See? And I can tell. The reason why I can tell is look at these as planks. See these planks? They're running nicely, evenly spaced out until it reaches here. And there you go. Minutes. And then lastly, I'm going to add one over here. And that should help firm up everything the way it should be. So as you can see, it's coming together very nicely. Like you could imagine your model completed, right? You have topology that's nice and nicely spread out. The line work is flowing. Mesh display, hardened edge, make it all faceted. Just add one more there. And I think the upper body should be complete. Should be. Yeah. Alright, that's the end of that. Bye.